So, table 2, my default range that I play at Zoom is 3-bet or fold and pocket 9s plus. So I'm just going to stick with that and just fold pocket 7s. Okay, I'm going to check back king 9 using my brain solver RNG. Quick turn check. Okay, so I'll have a few hands that bet turn, bet river, but not all that many. A lot of my strong flop checkbacks are like pretty happy to check back turn. Now we're gonna bet. Bet large. Okay, 5-3 of diamonds. It's just so tempting to always check raise this hand, but I think that's a little bit of a mistake because I just end up with so many check raises that are air. Limp. Okay, Ace King is squeezing. I think my play is just a call. I have the best possible hand in poker. Pocket 6s offsuit. Here I checked back, which was a mistake. Shouldn't be checking back this board. Just gonna make a tight turn fold, even with the club. Easy call. I'm not gonna do any raising. I want to keep him in with his garbage because I'm just trying to induce at this point with pocket 6s. And yeah, something like this. I just really want to keep him around. Shit. Oh my god. Is this just like a pure bluffing range, guys? Like, I'm pretty sure he just doesn't have value hands and only has bluffs. Right? He's not going to show me pocket queens. He's not going to show me ace king or aces. Whatever. Whatever, I'll fold. Make a big fold. By folding 6s, I'm folding my whole range because 6s are pretty close to top of range. Ten, 5 deuce face half pot. Fold. Damn it. Jack 7-4. I don't like to do too much range betting sort of stuff on these boards with all these low cards. Okay, ace 9. What the fuck to do with ace 9? Call, I guess. I don't know. I'm hoping for a king or an 8. If he checks turn, I'll probably like block the river. All right, we're just calling against this guy on all tables with a bunch of gutters. That's the plan. Loose passive station mode. Okay, turn another gutter, but have so many better hands to check shove than this. I think we're on the same plan, like call with our double gutter sort of plan and just hope to get there. We do get there. I'm gonna check because I actually don't have a lot of flushes that want to donk shove. Like if I had a ton of flushes and I was gonna donk shove a lot, I don't know. It's a weird spot. I don't think he has a ton of flushes either. It's a trap. Betting half pot. Very believable line. He has a lot of potential value bets. Feels like he just has a jack. Something like jack 8. So what is valuable here for bluff catching? Is it important to have a 5? I'm not really sure. I think the ace is not especially valuable. I don't think ace 3 or ace 5 is part of his value range when he bets like this. He potentially could even bluff with ace 6. So I don't think it's super valuable. I guess I'll just fold. Uh-oh. Did I fold the nuts? Oh my god, did I? Oh, pocket 6's hand. Yeah. Folding, defending. 3-4 offsuit. I think I'm just gonna fold. And flatting bottom middle, I'm gonna do quite a bit of flatting. 200 big blinds deep or 180 big blinds deep. I think it's pretty important to flesh out a pretty legitimate flat call range. Awkward spot, but Jack 10 suited plays pretty well in awkward spots. Okay, so I have no 4x, I have no pocket jacks. So this is quite tough. I am going to check call here against third pot, but it's dicey. Kind of looking for a spade or a jack or a 10. So I'm super capped here. He is not capped. Has a ton of value combos that crush all of my hands. So he's in a great position to put a lot of pressure on. And this is not a hand that I'm going to stand up to pressure with because I have a kicker that blocks 10-10 and doesn't block any value hands. So I'm just going to check fold the river against most bet sizes. I think like half pot or less I will call, and then bigger bets, like I expect to face some shoves and some like 450, and I'll just fold to those. Yep, I think I'm just gonna fold Jack 10 here. So he can definitely bluff ace queen, ace king. So I think this is a situation where my range is super face up, and I have like pretty much all of my hands are about this hand strength. So what I need to mostly think about is my side card. So I think given the 10 is a pretty terrible side card because it doesn't go into too many 4-bet bluffs, I think I just go ahead and fold. I will also have Queen Jack suited, King Jack suited, Ace Jack suited. Like those are hands that are not gonna be high frequency 3-bets, 180 big blinds deep, small blind versus button. Pretty tough spot. Definitely don't hate a fold. Or a call. Ten, 6, deuce. Cut off against big blind. I think third pot is probably okay. This board is disconnected enough from the big blind call range. I also think I'm in raised. which is a little bad for these lower card boards. Yeah, I'm okay showing graphs. I usually play with graphs up, but I certainly don't have like anywhere near an actual sample at just 510 on ACR. Games just don't run very often. And I'm gonna check call aces, I think. Having the ace of hearts is a little bit mopey. But I think just on absolute hand strength, this is just gonna be a defend. It's definitely a little bit hard for him to come up with bluffs. A little bit hard. So pre-flop sizes were like, I think he made it 2250 and I made it 130. So 6x. Yeah, I think I'm just in the call camp here if I have time, but not feeling great about it. And I like his play. His hand does a good job of blocking my strongest hands. Ace king, aces, king queen suited. And he definitely put me in a really tough spot. And I'm gonna pot the river with king jack. I think this line in general is really tough to play against. It's half pot turn, pot river. Four bet pot, queen 4-3. Don't love the 7 because 5-6 gets there, but still feeling pretty good about aces. Mostly like to check back, I think. Yeah, I kind of see what you're saying about Jack 10 unblocking bluffs. And it's true, it does kind of go both ways. But, yeah, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I don't know what the best bluff catch combos are going to be. That would be a good hand to solve. See what Pi was doing. It's a weird spot though. Like Pi will not be checking back the turn very often. So it's going to be very weird to put a sim together for that, because Pio's on like Jack 4-4. Pio's going to be pure betting like Ace Jack and Queens and Kings. MP, I think I'm King 5 suited plus. Yeah, I'm definitely kind of clueless. I think this is maybe a common misconception about like what a good poker player looks like. There's kind of an expectation that a good poker player always has a plan and always knows what's going on and has memorized every spot. But really, like, there's a lot of thinking to do, and there's a lot of uncertainty, and the vast majority of your decisions are like very, very close. You have a lot of very close decisions, and it's very, very tricky to know what to value in different situations. So yeah, I mean, I definitely have a ton of uncertainty in my game and have to do a ton of like just rethinking through the simple stuff, going over the basics, like trying to figure out what bluff catchers to value. I mean, in that Jack 10 hand, I don't know. I really don't know. What I would challenge you to do, though, Benfica, is I would challenge you to make a decision on that and say, I value these bluff catchers in this spot. And then run it in PioSolver and see what PioSolver says. And see if you were right. I think that's the real test to know if your confidence is warranted or it's not warranted. Oh dear. I'm gonna just fold queens. My pot odds aren't especially great. My default decision here is to call queens and fold jacks against Oblama, and then fold queens and fold ace king against iScoop. I just play really tight here because it's just not a spot where I see people exercising their ace-5 suiteds and ace-queen suiteds. So here I am sizing up my squeeze a little bit, and I poo-pooed this play earlier, but this specific situation, I'm like out of position all three players, and calling is a really good option. So I'm not going to squeeze very often, and when I do, I'm going to squeeze pretty big. 10-7 off. Yeah, like this spot, I feel very uncomfortable. I'm not happy calling, I'm not happy folding. It just feels very, very close. Ace queen, I'm going to call turn, fold river unimproved. And I'll just check down, I guess. Yeah, I've noticed, I notice in general when strong poker players are doing like solver work and hand review, like the thought processes are a lot different than playing in real time. And even someone who's like really solid and really strong theoretically has to still make a ton of super, super close decisions playing poker real time. And you have to make like a lot of assumptions and really figure things out. I think I checked the flop at table 1, which I don't like. My strategy wants to range bet on king 10 deuce because I 2.5 open. Did I open this hand? Why is there $30 in the pot? Oh, we're three-handed. This guy limped. I completed. I thought this was blind versus blind. Okay, did not make a checking mistake. Man, this pool is really running. We have coronavirus pool here. I don't think Pio would flat small blind versus button. Yeah, I kind of see where you're coming from. But I do kind of disagree with a couple of small things in here. Like, I mean, we weren't 200 big blinds deep. We were like 180. But at 200, there's a lot of small blind flatting that happens in 6 max. At least, I mean, I don't play with like pre-flop solvers, but when I watch like Linus and OTB and top stars guys, they do a lot of flatting, small blind versus button with the deeper stacks. So I think having some flatting is pretty solid. And I do also agree with your principle of needing to call down top of range. But I kind of discussed it in real time, but I don't think Jack 10 is top of range. I think bigger kickers are going to be more valuable. Yeah, you know, you're definitely entitled to your opinion. I'm not here to convince everybody to play their hands exactly the same way that I do. I like to make some big folds. I like to make some really dumb river calls. I do some crazy shit. Okay. Not gonna raise here. I play some Ignition. But I don't know. Today I just felt like playing ACR. Loose Goose. Honestly, this is probably a winning call. Ace 2 of hearts. He doesn't really block my bluffs. I think this was a blind versus blind pot where he opened the small blind. So I don't really have like ace, queen, ace, jack. I think he does a good job of unblocking my bluffs. And the deuce does block some value. It's a little bit hard to find a better bluff catcher than this. Like, he could have a random, like, 10-6 suited or something, but I'm a fan. I'm a fan of his bluff catch. I'm going to continue all of my pairs against 25% bet. Yeah, like, I think this is a hand where it's really easy to... Like, my first instinct here was like, what a donkey. He called the river with ace-deuce bottom pair. But, like, really? This call is going to do decently well against me, I think. So even though he's a fish and he stacked off bottom pair, it's not so bad. Okay, same dude. Really want to keep him in. I'm going to make a tiny 4-bet. Queen 2 suited against 3x. Maybe make a tight fold. Okay, I want Igarexa in, I think, with kings. Probably want him in. I think I want everybody in. I don't know. I probably feel most comfortable if it goes fold, shove, call. But this is okay too. Okay, good outcome. Nice to hold. Working on running up a Venom stack. Okay. So this is like slightly over 3x. 3x is 225. I'm making it 240 because we're a little bit deeper than 100 bigs. Pretty sure this board is like smashing for my range. So I can do something between 25% and 33%. Man, I love that guy's name. Simpartum Draw. He calls, so he definitely can still have aces, kings, queens. I'm kind of not sure what to do with ace jack. I think I'll probably just start with a check and go from there. Certainly not like thrilled about just like shoving, especially with blocking a jack. I'd be pretty happy to shove queens, but ace jack a little less so. Like, what am I targeting? 10-10? 9-9? Running out of time, and I'm gonna stick it in on the river, I think. Maybe this is one that I check call. Just to protect a little bit. It's like very, very, very weird spot. Okay, so I definitely missed a turn bet, but I probably don't get called if I shove the turn. I probably need to like third pot the turn, and I'm gonna stack off ace king, no spade. Yeah, I mean, Not thrilled about it, but I just don't think I can fold block aces and king, and he can definitely have just ace king himself. Feels like he has ace queen of spades, but geez, jacks seems thin, boy. Not saying it's bad, but definitely saying it's thin. And I'm going to check down king 9, I think. And this pot size bet, even though this guy's tilted, I love this bluff. It makes recreational players call down ace high, which I think they tend to have trouble doing against pot size bets. So I'm not a big fan of Pio. I use it a little bit, but I think it's pretty tricky to use effectively, and it takes a lot of skills to use in a way that's helpful. So if, assuming you're struggling at like 25 cent, 50 cent, or 50 cent a dollar, I would probably just stick to like run it once videos or good Twitch streams or slightly simpler like forms of learning. Like Pio gives you like very, very detailed answers, and I think for most people out there improving, it's better to get broad strokes until the higher stakes. I made a YouTube video about Pio where I gave all my thoughts. I'm going to check quite a bit on king 4-4 because the pair is so low. And I'm going to 4-bet call pocket queens. I've been doing slightly new 4-betting strategy as out of position. Not the worst river card. Grew with the raise. Running good today, boys. Running good. Up about 7 buy-ins. This is so shifty from Gru. I don't know how this guy plays at all, but it's kind of a weird card for him to be using this size. Yeah, there's some fish. These stakes, definitely. Maybe I'm a fish. Tough to say. The people I have tagged as red are people I consider fish. Okay. This river kind of sucks because I chop with King X now, and my kicker was definitely pretty valuable on the turn, but now it's not valuable because it doesn't even play. So I need to size to get value from a jack. I'm gonna go with pot, and if I get raised, I'll probably fold. Min raise. Good. Okay. Fuck. Fuck, guys. Here's one thing I've learned from like 10 years of being a professional online poker player. If you plan on folding to a raise and they raise, always just fold. That's my new go-to. It's just to follow through and fold. I mean, it's a min raise. I'm getting like 7-1. I chop sometimes if he has a thin value raise. It's a pretty ridiculous fold. I think Benfica is not going to like that fold very much. That's my read. He is not going to like that fold. Getting, yeah, like 6-1 with the top pair. Only losing to trips or a really good king. So I might be under a little bit of heat. A little bit of chat heat for a bad fold. Hey, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Take a little heat. Okay. Opening. 10-8 off. Mostly just going to fold ace queen. Hadouken with the cold call. Button cold call range. Curious about this hand. Easy games today. Yeah, I mean, some days you run good. Yesterday I ran well. Today, running well. The previous day I lost 5K very quickly. Potentially want to do some leading on this board with this type of hand, but I don't think this specific hand. I think I'd much rather have a gutter. Alright, kind of a fun turn card. I can go with a small bet with a ton of different hands. Open. Good. Yeah, that's how I felt. I'd like to reset stacks so I can get... Well, I'd like to reset tables so I can get time bank back because I'm out of time bank. But to reset tables, I'd have to reset stacks, which isn't very fun. Okay, open. He called. He's knocking. I call. 15 years of playing micros, the min raise always has you beat. I agree with that. Okay, so I can bet small and bet the river, or I can bet big and check the river. I think I prefer bet big and check the river. Oh man, I kind of want to bet the river now, too. God. This spot just like, it's making me angry because I'm so unsure about it. So he'll definitely have some better queens that snap call. My 7 doesn't tend to play. This is the guy that had the ace 2 of hearts that called the river shove. He could even call like ace 5 high or something. Alright, this is pretty thin. I don't claim this is a slam dunk value bet. I think this is very, very, very close. Definitely don't mind a check behind. Pocket 8's gonna do some raising, some calling. And I have a flush. I'm gonna bet. Bet pretty big. Last time I got raised on the river with the 6 high flush, I lost a 4K pot. So if I get raised again, maybe I will fold. Because last time it didn't go so well. I think ace 8 is just going to be a check fold against half pot. King of Diamonds 9 is actually the exact type of hand I want to see bet bluff. The King of Diamonds generates some folds. The 9 is like shitty enough to bluff with. Like if I have King Jack, I can just check and I'm happier about turning a pair. But the not turning a 9 isn't so great. It's okay. Now I think I just keep on betting. Telling my story that I have a hand like Queen 10. Playing some poker. Clicking some buttons. I'm gonna do a tiny bit of strong flatting. I don't think this is necessary because the cold call range is already strong enough that it doesn't need a ton of slow plays, but I think it's okay. I do sometimes like to just click random buttons. Just to obscure shit a little bit. Jack 10 off MP, I think, is like the strongest hand I fold. Maybe it's worth opening with this player in the big blind. Okay, face half pot with pocket sixes. Not going anywhere yet. So, usually, I just always bluffed this. But somebody was showing me some sims in this sort of spot where Pio was like pure checking all of the pairs, even the pairs with diamonds. So I'm gonna go with that. Raise call. I'm gonna fold a7. FBI special agents, yeah, man. I know somebody well on their way to being a special agent. Mr. Kazaa himself. King. I think we're just going to go B75 the whole way. Maybe I'll size up a bit on a deuce or a 5. And I think I'll size down to a check on the queen of clubs. Fuck. This would be such a nitty fucking check. King with king of clubs. Alright, well my coach told me I need to do more river half potting in position. So I'm gonna squeeze it in. Gonna listen to Dr. Strogas and go for a thin half pot. Pretty thin though. I think checking is kind of tempting. Fuck. Get raised. I'm gonna fold. I fold. God. I fold. I call. I fold. I call. Nice bluff on his part. I mean, he ran into like a really good bluff catcher, but I really like that he chose ace jack with the ace of clubs to bluff raise. His size is pretty sick, and it's almost too sick. Like, if he shoved, it would have gotten through, sort of thing. All right, I'm gonna take a little short break. Six, baby. Sixes have not done super well today, but that's just part of variance. Some days you lose with pocket sixes. Instead, I'm going to check back against a tilted rec with a 3 SPR and like a pretty good hand. I don't want to just bet fold to his like 9-8 that he's really pissed off with. So I'm just going to check back and try to see a turn. Okay, so he's calmed down a bit. He checked twice. Going to now try to play some poker with him. Hoping for a fold. And if he calls, I'll have some tough river decisions because he's kind of a station on the river, but he also is probably very capped. I don't fucking care. Hey, that's actually a player on ACR. That's Lars Luzak, I think. Lars had one of the sickest folds. This was like 10 years ago plus, but he was playing like a 25k heads up tournament, and he folded like, he got set over set at like 100 big blinds or something, maybe a couple hundred big blinds deep, and he folded somehow, like on a dry fucking board, and his opponent had a higher set. Pretty sick. coronavirus. Okay, I've got a question for the chat. So, I live in a house, like I have 3 roommates, 3 of us live upstairs, 1 of us lives downstairs in a mother-in-law unit. So it's a totally separate unit. It has its own entrance. Anyway, the guy that lives down there has coronavirus. He went and got tested, confirmed has the virus. My question is, am I going to get the virus from him? So we don't share any common spaces. He's been in quarantine. I've been in quarantine. What do we think? What's going to happen? Can I get the virus like through the heating vents? Is it going to come up and like sneak into my room and then infect me? Because he lives like right below where I live. Easy call. King Queen. Can even beat value bets at this point. Yeah, this pool pretty much never runs. But it is Sunday and people are stuck at home because of Corona. Okay, check calling third pot. And check folding the river. Fuck, Venom. I don't want you to jump in, man. Stay away. Stay on ignition. Stay away. Okay, a pretty easy continue with pocket 9s and the 9 high flush draw. River is less fantastic. Face nearly a pot size bet. And kind of sad. I think I'm going to go with the fold. Knit. Be a knit. Open folding 5-6 suited from the cutoff. Who would have thought that that was a play? I raised that hand for years. Snakes. Very strong player. I'm gonna size up a little bit on 998. I'm gonna do a lot of checking. And I think I'm just gonna bet 3 times. Simple poker. Okay, note to self, do not play this table. I've lost like probably 5K playing this table. 500 at a time. Tron special. I 2-outed this fucking guy. I 2-outed him for an 8k pot at 50-100 PLO. We got all in on the flop, and I was drawing pretty much to 2 outs. Like, I had a couple of backdoors. And then I just binked it on the river. It was a situation where, like, I 3-bet queen 10-9 or something, and he called, and the board came ace high, and there was less than a pot size bet left. So the money went in, and then I just banked a fucking queen on the river against his ace. Okay, so I checked. Mostly range checking. King 7-6 rainbow. Idea here is his flatting range is stronger than my opening range, so on pretty much every board he's going to have a range advantage, give or take. So I check call. This is the situation. Yeah, I have no fucking idea what to do here. I'm just going to make a bet. I'm calling ace-7 of clubs because we're deep and I have suited cards in position. And I'm going to call flop. So I think this is just a fold. Main idea behind folding here is that the button, his calling range, has me really dominated. He'll just have like pocket 7s and shit. Why are we folding 5-6 suited from the cutoff? I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't fucking know. You'll have to ask the solver about that one. The solvers are like, fuck suited connectors. We don't like 5-6 suited from the cutoff. Hey bud, thanks for your Twitch Prime sub. Appreciate it. This isn't StarCraft. Not today. I've been playing a ton of StarCraft though. That game is awesome. I've been playing random and trying to play macro games. Okay, now we have to do some thinking. So 3-bet he called, King Jack 7, we're deep. I have a nut gut shot. I guess I'm gonna go B75. I just check. Probably don't bet this King 9 deuce board all too often. And I'll have some gutters that will make better bluffs. If the river checks to me, I'm gonna bet. And my goal with betting is to try to make somebody fold to pocket sixes. That's my assumption. I think this guy has a hand like pocket sixes pretty often. And if I think he's always going to call, then this bluff is going to be bad. But if I think he's doing a good amount of folding, then this bluff can be okay. And kind of the same thing for him. Ace 10 of hearts, I think, is just a fold. Sad as it is. I try to be pretty careful playing the small blind because I'm out of position against everyone. I do like his Queen 10 of spades squeeze. That's a squeeze that I never make because I haven't done a lot of pre-flop solver work outside of RFI. But I think it's a GTO squeeze. Somebody told me it was GTO. How are the 5-10 tables compared to stars? I don't know. I haven't played on stars in like 11 years. Are you aware of Invoker Cold? Yes. I played an orbit of 1530 with him and we chatted a bit. Not really sure what his who he is or what his idea is. Maybe he thinks I'm a joke and I'm terrible. Maybe, I don't know. Who knows? I don't know anything about him, but I can tell you this, I fucking love his ID. I think it's just random enough that it's pretty hilarious. Invoker Cold. Okay, 10-7 fold. I have no idea if that's good or bad, but folding pocket queens. Gonna call and play some poker. We are 150 big blinds deep. So you could just like shove pre that's on the table, but I call like pretty much my whole range here. I'm gonna fold like 30% with hands like offsuit Broadway, but I'm gonna call all my suited hands and a lot of shit. Okay, now I need to shut up and I need to do some brain solver. Think about what I want to do. Man, this guy always stacks me in 2K plus pots. So maybe I should just check and fold. Oh fuck, that's my brain solver. That's the best you can do, brain solver, is this guy always stacks me, so maybe I should check and fold. Damn. I think that's kind of a brain solver malfunction. I'm not sure if that's GTO brain solver. Okay, 10 of diamonds. I believe if I bet anything here, I'm basically bluffing. And not super thrilled about that idea. So I'm going to check, hope for Jack River is the best river. A non-diamond brick, like a 10, is pretty fucking good also. Now, I'm scared and I don't know what to do, guys. What does he call me with that's worse than this? I'm just gonna check because I'm scared and I don't know what to do. Okay. 10-9 suited. It's a pretty good hand to apply some pressure, I think. I'm not going to always overbet, but I think sometimes. Roll to 30. Just going to check. And no, not gonna 4-bet here. And I guess just call here. Jeez, guys, poker's hard. Poker's hard. I'm making a lot of the wrong decisions. Okay. Raise 3-bet, 4-bet. Forget what happened this hand. Okay, he check called the flop, then I checked down. Okay, this ace-10 I'm also gonna fold, even though it didn't work out for me last time. Fuck me. Seven of diamonds turn. Please brick. Please brick. Please brick. Oh, dude, I think those upswing PLO coaches are really good. I saw a video that one of them made that was really good. Nice. So if we're kind of just doing general hand guessing, I'm going to guess we have pocket aces, and I'm going to guess we have king queen suited, or maybe kings and ace queen, and I'm guessing this guy checks and wins. I think once Don checks the river, he is probably more in the bluffing camp, like ace king. Okay, so I Scoop You is saying he has ace queen and he's going for thin value. I tend to believe that because I folded 2 diamonds. Lithium, appreciate the sub, brother. It's been fun hanging out and doing StarCraft streams. not sure about PLO blitz. Yeah, it looks like they have 1-2 PLO blitz, but I don't think it's ever run before. Sevens feels like it's a pretty solid river check. Seems a little bit too thin to try to value bet. With my pre-flop range being so strong and my flop check call range being so strong, it's really hard for me to come up with bluffs. Like, enough bluffs that I can value bet a pair of sevens.